Yo, what's good everybody? This is the Anime Corner. Finally back with another late haul for you guys. I wanted to do this video for a while, but my traveling schedule has been seriously hectic as of late. I'm actually going to be gone in a couple more days, so this was the only free time I had to record the video. But yeah, this would be all the things I picked up for these past 2 months. Alright, so starting off with the manga as usual, we have One Punch Man Volume 14. Brand new volume. I read it, really enjoyed it. Basically was the ending of the tournament arc, which has been really fun. Great action, great comedy. But yeah, there's not much to say because I'm pretty sure most of you guys have been reading One Punch Man. Alright, the next volume we have is Gundam Thunderbolt Volume 8. I'm actually currently reading this at the moment. I am almost finished with this volume. I'm finally happy to get some new content because the last couple of volumes are just rehashes of what I've seen in the anime. But I'm curious to see where this series goes from here because it seems like you have this, Earth Federation versus the Zeon, but it seems like you also have another one that's like this Buddhist monk cult going on, so curious to see how the war is gonna go from here. Alright, the next volume we have is Blade of the Immortal Omnibus 6. Another fantastic volume. I am absolutely loving Blade of the Immortal. It's probably my favorite ongoing release at the moment. But yeah, this omnibus didn't really have much action, but a lot of things going on. You have these doctors basically trying to figure out the powers of the immortal ability that the main character has, and just a lot of crazy things have been going down in that prison, so look forward to seeing what happens in the next omnibus. Alright, the next volume we have is 2 Year Eternity Volume 6. I just finished reading this 2 days ago. Really enjoyed this volume. I have been really enjoying the series as a whole. I don't know if you guys have been reading it, but definitely recommend it. If you guys have read A Silent Voice, this is from the same creator. And if you have read A Silent Voice and reading this series, I would love to know you guys' opinions. Which do you like more, 2 Year Eternity or A Silent Voice? Alright, next up we have a brand new series called Dr. Stone. I've been looking forward for this volume for a while now. I know it's done by the same writer from Ice Shield 21, and the art is done by Boichi, who did Sunken Rock. And yeah, basically it's about, everybody on Earth has turned to stone, but you have these 2 high school students who are best friends, and they're basically trying to restart civilization. So I enjoyed the volume. I wouldn't say I loved the first volume, but I really enjoyed it. From what I hear, the series gets on, progresses a lot more, and it actually gets better later on. So definitely looking forward to the second volume because I think this is a pretty decent shonen series. Alright, we have another brand new series called Black Torch Volume 1. I had no anticipation of picking this series up, but when I was at Barnes & Nobles, I started reading it, and I have to say I was enjoying it. It definitely is it reminds me a lot of Bleach, to be honest, but the main character comes from a ninja clan, and he also has the ability to talk to animals. One day he rescues this black cat, and they happen to fuse together, and they basically defeat these demons. And yeah, I was enjoying it. It's actually a pretty fun shonen series. I would recommend it if you guys like Bleach. Alright, next up we have another brand new release, which is 20th Century Boys The Perfect Edition Volume 1. I am really excited. I actually received this today in the mail, and I am dying to read it. I have never read anything from Urasawa. I always expected Monster to be my first series, but I'm really happy to pick up 20th Century Boys because I know a lot of people recommend it. So yeah, I'm actually going to read this probably after I finish reading Gundam Thunderbolt. Alright, so next up, this is going to be the things I pick up that are comic book related. And I picked up Blu-ray, which is Infinity War. Had to pick this up. I mean, it's one of the biggest movies of all time. It's been 10 years in the making. I don't know how the Russo brothers keep pulling it off, but they keep doing their thing because they've been my favorite directors for the MCU films. Love Winter Soldier, love Civil War, and Infinity War was also amazing. So I am really hyped to see the next Avengers. Alright, so moving on to the graphic novels, I picked up Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis. I am a massive Daredevil fan. Daredevil is my all-time favorite Marvel superhero. He is my second favorite superhero of all time behind Batman. And Frank Miller's run was one of my favorites growing up, and I heard great things about Brian Michael Bendis' run, and I have to say the hype is real. I absolutely love this first volume. I know a lot of people don't like Brian Michael Bendis that much, but I have to say he did a really great job writing, and the artwork by Alex Maleev was fantastic. It is one of my favorite type of genres, which is crime noir, and that was definitely this volume. And if you guys don't know what this series or this volume is about, you have this bad guy who is working at the mafia. His name is, I think, Mr. Silk, and he is working with the Kingpin, and his objective is to take down Daredevil because Daredevil had busted his father. And yeah, what happens was Mr. Silk finds out that Kingpin actually knows the true identity of Daredevil, and just all hell breaks loose when he finds out. The whole public finds out that Matt Murdock is Daredevil, and just a bunch of crazy things happens in this series. Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed this volume. Probably was my favorite read, or at least one of my favorite reads for this past 2 months. The only thing I would say that I didn't love in the beginning, there's like this one shot that's called Wake Up, and it is basically this little kid who is in like this mental hospital, and the Daily Bugle is trying to report it, trying to figure out what happened to this kid that traumatized him. He met Daredevil somehow, and just a very weird story, but I thought it was personally just me. I wasn't enjoying it in the beginning. I thought it was because I was reading this volume super late. I was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it wasn't really a smart idea. The art style is really unique. It's very different, and just the writing was really trippy and weird. But once I got to the conclusion of that one shot, I started to enjoy the story more. But you really won't have to read that one shot if you don't want to. But yeah, overall, definitely am enjoying Daredevil. Need to pick up the second volume. Alright, next up, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is the current ongoing release. Obviously, growing up in the 90s, Ninja Turtles I loved growing up. The cartoons, the movies, the series. And from what I hear, a lot of people are saying that this is like the best definitive run. And I have to say, I really enjoyed it a lot. I can see why a lot of people loved it. I love the tone of it, great action. It is not as kiddie as the 90s Ninja Turtles, but it isn't also nowhere near as dark as the original Ninja Turtles. It just had the great balance of the two. And yeah, I can definitely see why a lot of people liked it. I really want to pick up the hardcovers for these. Unfortunately, I picked up the trade, but I'm going to try to pick up those hardcovers. When I was looking for it, the second volume was like out of print or something, so I might hold off on picking the rest of these. Next up, I have Batman Detective Comics Volume 6. You guys know I love Detective Comics Rebirth, and yeah, Volume 6 just was another knockout for me. This has been a really fun Batman read. The characters I really enjoying, especially Clayface, which I never in my life I ever thought I would actually feel sorry for the character, because he did so many evil things, but I really enjoyed what they did with the character, trying to make him a good guy, trying to redeem him, but it's not that easy. I also really enjoy his friendship with Orphan, which I heard Orphan is going to be in the new Birds of Prey movie, which I didn't really want to check out that movie, but her being in it, she's such a badass character. I also hope to see Lady Shiva in that movie, but yeah, just every character in here has been great and really great stories. Alright, next up, this will be the last volume. This has been a series that has been on my wish list for the longest time, and it is called Kill or Be Killed by Ed Brubaker, and the art is done by Sean Phillips. The story is about this character named Dylan, who is a depressed college student who just one day decides he wants to commit suicide, but when he actually tries to commit suicide, he actually ends up surviving, and he's visited by this black demon who explains to Dylan, in exchange for your life, you will live 1 more month for every person that you kill. And it was really fascinating read. I mean, it's one of those comics like that made you think, is this all real? Is the demon real, or is this all in his head? It was amazing, I have to say, and definitely need to pick up the rest of the volumes ASAP. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything I picked up for these past 2 months. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll love it if you like, comment, subscribe, and your boy's out.